Hello! Hi guys! It's been a pretty long time, and I know we had the hiatus since what was it? August in 2024. But as always, we're gonna go ahead and reminisce 2025. But a lot has happened, a lot. And as the title says, we're gonna have a cancer awareness thing, so be prepared for that. There's a reason. Don't worry, there's a reason. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the channel out of the way, so that way you guys know, okay, all of this happened. But so our hiatus happened, and the reason it happened, for those of you who haven't seen the channel, is because we kind of caught up with everything. We were a little burnt out. We were still new and everything, but we were going strong, and we're like, wait, we can't keep up. And it was crazy. But we all caught up with family, friends, school. Yeah, some of us went back to school. Grimmy went back to school and everything. And we caught up afterwards. I was able to go ahead and write some more scripts, get some more recordings done, so that's good. Put all the ideas together. And then we came back in August, which is like an entire year of not coming back. It's crazy because I was supposed to come back in the spring. I'm sorry, stuff happened. You'll see why, but hold on. So August rolled in, right? We got a new look, so we had to go ahead and draw a new version of me. And do more backgrounds for the scenes, because I don't want a blank canvas forever. And afterwards, it's funny because we have the Lunatics and the Shaolin video that came out, and we were recording Lunatics and we were almost done. But then I went over to my voice actor Ren, and I took advantage of her. And I said, hey, we finished recording the Shaolin video. Can you do me a favor and help me finish recording the Lunatics video? Which is why if you have a good ear, you can hear the different pitch in the Lunatic video whenever I'm talking in there. So I apologize for that. But it was the first time thing that we did. I don't really know how it works, but it worked out. Whatever. And so we finished the recordings. Hooray! So now I was able to go ahead and do the editing for the audio in Shaolin, and Grimmy was able to do the editing for Lunatics. And yet somehow I finished the Shaolin one, but then again, it's a lot shorter than the Lunatics one, So I'm sorry, Grimmy. And but we finished the Shaolin first before we finished the Lunatics. And I mean, that happens, as long as the videos get done, it doesn't matter which one comes first and all that, as long as they get done, as long as everything gets done, we're all good. And so we finished the video, and she's still working on the audio, and then we get a glitch. I have no idea what happened, but we get a glitch. Why? So I screenshot Grimmy, and I'm like, Grimmy, can you see it? And she's like, no. So I take a video of it on my phone, and I'm like, can you see it now? She's like, no, it looks normal. And I'm like, what do you mean it looks normal? There's a big glitch right here. And she's like, I don't see it. So I drive all the way to Grimmy's house, and I physically show her on my computer, and she's like, oh, look at that, it's a glitch. We never really found out exactly what it was, but I mean, maybe I clicked something, maybe I didn't, maybe it was maybe it's the time for the computer, I don't know, I'm not letting it go just yet. I mean, it's bound to have glitches here and there, but I mean, as long as it still works, and as long as I can still see the work, it doesn't matter. But regardless, it scared me a little, because it also happened in the Lunatic video, and I'm like, no! Oh my god, it was crazy. I'm sorry. But at least you guys don't get to see the glitches, you know? You just get to see the video and it's like, woohoo, like nothing ever happened. I know, it's crazy. But I guess now I gotta tell you exactly why we came out so late. Well, I guess if you're ready. So again, got the hiatus in August. Fast forward to December of 2024, Christmas happens. And my cousins come over to visit our side of the family. And we all notice it. No one says it until after they leave. I say it. I'm the first one who says it. And I say how my cousin looks a very unhealthy skinny. Very unhealthy skinny. And for those of you who don't know, she's pretty big, you know. I'm you know, the skinny cousin. She's the very big cousin. And I'm not saying fat because like that's rude, you know. That's very rude. So, you know, she's pretty big, decently big, and we're always polar opposites, you know. Like I had straight hair, she had the curly hair. I'm the one who had braces, she had perfect teeth. I'm single, she's the one with a husband and a 2-year-old. Still jealous. But you know, she was very unhealthy, and you know, everyone knew something was up, but no one could really put their finger on it, you know. Fast forward to January, I get laid off. And I get it off. And it just gets worse from there. On February, we found out that she had stomach cancer. And it hit us all, you know? Because again, you know, we're polar opposites. You know, I'm the one who eats an unhealthy amount of junk food. And she's the one who, you know, tries to stay fit, eats healthy and everything. I'm the one who usually has the stomach problems, you know? Because, like, I was a kid, and I'm the one who ended up having, like, worms in my stomach, you know? They fixed it and everything. I usually... And again, you know, I don't eat healthy, so I'll eat something expired, end up in the hospital, and I'm totally fine, you know, the next day. And yet she's the one with the stomach cancer. So then, you know, we roll on to April, and I still don't have a job. So, it's been more or less 3 months, and I'm bored. I am bored. So I get cabin fever, and I ask around the girls. I'm like, someone please take me out. I don't care where, anywhere. And voice actor Ren is like, hey, why don't we go over here? And I'm like, perfect. It's away from my house. I don't care. I come back and I realize I still need to get out of the house. So I volunteer at a pet shelter. I mainly did the cats because dogs scare me. I'm sorry, they scare me. I mean, they're cute and all that, but they scare me. So, you know, I'd be helping out the cat shelter, cleaning the litter, playing with them, letting them stretch out their legs and all that, and feeding them, you know. And it was every morning, you know, every morning on Sunday or Thursday. I don't remember which one, but you know, whatever I felt like they needed the most help. Especially since apparently also around the same time, my mom decides to say, hey, why don't we go clean houses to make some money? Mind you, I'm more of the unpaid intern. And it felt like that too, fast forwarding in June. Because my cousin's sister, she has 3 boys. And guess who doesn't have the job to go ahead and babysit and be an unpaid intern again? Yep. Unpaid intern. Still no job. Fast forward to July, and our location director, KLRJ96, her dad passes away. Also due to cancer. Now, I can't tell you exactly the type of cancer, out of respect for her. but it was, I'll be honest with you, it was the very first person in my entire life that was close to me that passed away. So, you think, oh, what about your grandparents? No, they're alive and healthy. What about your parents? Alive and healthy. Friends, family? Nope, all good. So he was the very first person who actually passed away in my entire life, So it was hard. I went to the funeral, my first funeral, and it was hard, Then we fast forward into August. I finally get a job. From January all the way up to August, I finally get a job. And for those of you who think, oh, she probably wasn't, applying enough. No, I applied enough. And I even broke down because I got rejected 4 times in a single day. It was crazy. But if you're a parent listening, you need to trust your kids when they say that they're trying. You just need to tell them to keep trying and not to give up, because it's really hard right now in this economy to try and get a job. But the other thing that happened in August is I found out that one of my favorite Utaita singers also passed away. So that was the second person in my life who passed away. And if you don't know, an Utaita is one of those Japanese cover singers. And the reason why Luz hits me is because I was in college listening to him. I was watching Secret Answer. A friend rolls by and it's like, oh my gosh, you listen to them too? And I'm like, who? And this is because before I knew what an Utaita was. She explains to me, and it was because of Luz that I was able to actually get into this, So I'm like, dang, my boy's gone. I listen to his music and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to hear him again. It's just on repeat, Fast forward October, and it's my birthday, and I'm like, I'm sorry guys, my birthday lands on a truck day. I am not coming in at 5 a.m. to do truck. So I asked the day off. I go and I go to the aquarium downtown. I go to my local bookstore and get a new book because I'm obsessed with books. And then I spend the night with my cousin watching a movie, And then a week later, she passes away. I mean, if you think about it, Because she was an unhealthy skinny in December. And I'm sure it started before that. So more or less, she's been battling with stomach cancer for practically an entire year. And it's like, I don't know. Everyone's sad, everyone's crying. We're all around her. And then I have to stop crying. I have to continue taking care of one of the boys because the other 2 are in school now. I have to go back home so that her sister can cry properly. Go back home and pretend like nothing's wrong. And I tell her, take your time because it is your sister. I'm over here with the child, taking care of him. Mom gets home way later. And, she goes to work. Because it's one of those jobs where, you can't miss work, That night, when they picked up the kid, my brother was still there, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and watch Coco. Just remember, just because you're a guy doesn't mean that you can't cry. This is one of those times you're allowed to cry and all that stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'll just be in my room. So he's in his room. I'm watching Coco. And I start bawling, man. And it's good. I needed that, because,
it's hard to hold it in, pretending like nothing just happened, you know? And so the next day, again, I have to pretend like nothing happened. I have to go ahead and make sure everyone's okay. I have to make sure the house is good and everything. Because, you know, we have to now plan for the funeral and everything. Well, now that it's the next day, my mom loses her job. Now, she normally works 2 jobs, and at this point, she lost the second one. The first one, she walked out. Her reasons. Can't tell you. But the second one, it was because she was late. She was late, and they fired her. And she had already told them beforehand that, you know, her niece passed away. Don't care, you're fired. So now she's unemployed. And, you know, I barely started this job, you know? So then my mom, she gets hit with depression really hard. Like, I've never seen her get hit this badly that all she wants to do is sleep. And she's the type of woman where everything has to be clean, everything has to be picked up. Why are the dishes still here, you know? But now she's like, I just want to sleep. I don't even want to get up. I just want to lay in bed, you know? And, you know, you, like, when you see your mom like that, you're like, okay, I gotta make sure the house is clean so that she doesn't have to worry about it. I gotta make sure my siblings are mentally stable and all that, you know? And at one point I was like, Mom, look, I made fresh beans and rice, you know, because it's one of the few things I know how to cook. I know I should learn how to cook more, but I'm terrible. And she's over here like, oh, but we had rice in the fridge. And, you know, being quick thinking, I'm like, yeah, but this is made with love and it's fresh. She's like, oh, okay, I'll eat it later. Never gets up to bed. She never gets up to bed, and I'm just like, Mom, I need you to get out of the bed, even if it's just to the living room, because I don't want you to pass away due to depression, you know? And she reassures me it's not going to be like that. And sure enough, you know, give her some time and she gets up, but like, it was really hard. Trying to put everything together, you know, keep everything together. So, you know, after watching Coco make an altar, we have the funeral, and everyone's looking at the altar. My sister makes fun of me saying, this altar looks like a 15-year-old dad. I'm over here like, I only got physical pictures of her when she was little. Leave me alone. But I'm the one who put the video together of, like, from childhood to her last moments. And it was hard, let me tell you, because, like, if you're the one who has to listen to the song over and over again, and that song makes you cry, you gotta listen to that song even at work, even if you're like, oh no, I don't want to show weakness at work. Bro, they'll understand. Someone passed away. You keep crying. Just listen to that song if you're the one putting the video together. And it's interesting because a year before all of this, I had actually gotten the entire photos together in the photo album. Like, I was able to make sure they weren't in random areas, because why is there photos in the kitchen? Why are there photos in the garage? Why are there photos here and there? Like, come on. So, you know, it was easier to put it all together, you know. And then after the funeral, you know, everyone calms down, gets back on their feet. KLRJ even invited us to the Ren Fair for our birthday party in November. And, you know, she looked better, you know, after, but, you know, it still hits her. And December rolls by, you know, we're here in December, and my sister graduates. Hooray! We have the graduation party, and her speech broke us, because she's over here crying before she even started. And she says, thank you all for coming. I know that not everyone's here. I mean, my godparents aren't here because, you know, they had a trip planned already, you know. And another person who's not here is our cousin. My sister was in college when she got the news. She's all the way, like 3 hours away. and she couldn't properly say goodbye to her. So it's like a reminder, you know. I'm over here able to go ahead and spend time with her, get to know her. I mean, some of the things I got to know is like how she prefers like comedy, kind of like regular show, but I prefer comedy like The Amazing World of Gumball. But we hate each other's shows, you know. I mean, maybe hate's a strong word, but you know what I mean. She would be binge watching her shows, you know, all her K dramas or live TV shows, and I'm with her binge watching cartoons. I'm telling you, we're opposites, you know, but we found out a lot about each other, and the fact that my tiny little cat roar. We found out that you know, like she couldn't say goodbye. And we all forgot about that. Which is like, dang, you know? She was in class too when we told her the news. She only had like 5 minutes left in class, and then she's over here like, what do you want, you know? And then she leaves class and, you know, she breaks down. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but you have to know, you know? You can't just not tell them they passed away. But yeah, everyone broke down, took pictures, and hooray. I mean, I broke down when I'm the photographer, so I had to take the picture of her holding a picture of her cousin. It's a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that happened. But I mean, some of the things that I feel like there's a reason. I mean, the other reason why I feel like I'm telling y'all this is so that is like a reminder, you know, like if you're someone who's big and you know that it's that you're losing weight rapidly and it's unhealthy, you should definitely go see a doctor. If your stomach hurts and you're throwing up, you know, there's something wrong, you know. Just know that nobody knows that you're gonna have cancer, so you're gonna end up waiting in the hospital room probably for like 3 hours, if not more, you know. And the fact that, you know, it was early in the stages when they found out about it, you know. So I'm not saying that you're gonna probably end up like my cousin, but it's a possibility. Some people, they're stronger. Some people, their bodies just can't handle it. And the fact that the doctor's like, you need to gain weight so that we can do surgery, the reason they tell you that is because they don't want your body to be weak when they do the surgery, because you could, you know, pass away due to that. You need to have strength so that way your body can recover. I know it sounds like it's stupid, especially since it's a stomach cancer and, you know, you're throwing up everything that you eat. But it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I get it. But it's annoying, you know? And the fact that when they were going to do the surgery in the first stages, they told her, okay, you can't have any pain medication. And you know what she told me? I just started my period. So I just want you all to remember that. Just because someone has cancer doesn't mean they can't have their period. And if you're asking how old is she? She was only 30 years old. She was very young. We were the same age. We were raised as, like, sisters, you know? So seeing her in even more pain, because, you know, period cramps are no jokes, and then to top it off with cancer, that's like next level pain, you know. But they did it. They were able to clear some, and then, you know, obviously it doesn't work out. I do have to say that at one point, closer to the end, she didn't even have any strength to get up. She didn't have any strength to get up. So they would have to help her go to the restroom. And at one point, I came by and she was wearing an adult diaper. And I just could not believe that it has come to this, It has come to this, that my own cousin, who's the same age as me, is wearing an adult diaper. And at that point, I already knew where this was going, So, I decided to make time to spend time with my cousin. And before she couldn't move anymore, we would hang out and everything. And we started the movie Hairspray, but we never finished it, And so, I don't know why, but it bugged me. It bugged me so much, even though it's a movie that we've seen, millions of times. We've seen it together before. Why is this bugging me? I don't know. So, at one point, I decided to my cousin, hey, I want to go ahead and finish watching this movie with you. I don't know why it's bugging me, but it's bugging me. So, we go watch the movie. We finish it. And I feel better. I don't know why. I guess it's like unfinished business and all that, And that's what we did. We finished watching movies, I chose Hairspray. She chose Shrek 3. On my birthday, I chose iRobot. And the last movie she chose while she was conscious was the Venom, The Last Dance. So the final Venom movie. And I kid you not, I swear, I feel like it was her final message. If you haven't seen the ending, it's like, how do I explain it? It's like a montage of Venom's life, like of how he lived it. And I'm just like, she's trying to tell me goodbye, I don't want it to mean a goodbye, It ended up being goodbye. But before I finish with her, I just want to say that just because she had cancer in the early stages does not mean that she's useless, okay? Just because they tell you, oh, you have cancer, doesn't mean you're useless. She was bored, so I could relate, not having a job at the time. And so, I tell her, hey, I need an audio editor, and explain it to her, and then she's like, oh, I can do that. And I'm like, you know what, yeah, you're right, you can do that. So she was able to help out with 2 of the shorts, and I'm gonna go ahead and post them next month in honor of her, because I really wanted to wait, but sometimes you can't wait, you just gotta do it. So going back to the channel, I do want to say we're gonna pivot with what we normally do because of everything that happened. And I just need to be mentally prepared. I want to mentally prepare my brain again, going back to how I do things, maybe a little bit different, but we're gonna pivot what we do. I'm not leaving y'all. Okay, I'm not leaving y'all. I'm just letting you know we're gonna pivot. But you're gonna like it. Don't worry. You won't hate it. You'll love it. And we're all gonna laugh. It's gonna be great. And then we're planning something big for 2029. So I hope y'all are still here for that. And I apologize if this video is very long. But it is what it is, okay? But I hope this video didn't really bring you down or anything. But I guess I needed to say that last goodbye, And I just want to remind y'all, do it now. Don't wait. I don't care if you're not there yet. Make the mistakes. Learn from it. And stop trying to be perfect. Just learn to get better, But, I'm going to go ahead and leave y'all. Have y'all do whatever you need to do. If not, I'm gonna keep keeping you here. Oh no, I'm blind. Sorry, I took off my glasses. Oh, there it is. Okay. But yeah. Bye, y'all. Have a good day. Bye.